It's time for our phone interaction where we'll get to hear your thoughts and your contributions. We'll get to open the phone lines and you'd have the floor for, the next time allocated for that segment. Now, today we're going to be talking about fighting corruption. Nigeria has long been prone to corruption. I mean, for every administration that has come in, the main talk has always been fighting corruption, ending corruption, getting corrupt leaders and all, with many ministries and agencies affected. I mean, the most recent was that of the Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and National Coordination. It's actually no exception because we actually saw how all that played out, with lots of stories and eye-opening revelations coming out. Now, recent allegations of corruption have surfaced against BETTA Edu, relating to mismanagement of funds and bias in releasing emergency assistance to affected communities. So to fight corruption in this ministry and elsewhere, Nigeria needs stronger accountability, means transparency and enforcement of law. But we want to hear beyond the BETTA Edu's case, which is not our focus for today. We're just using it as a reference point now. Beyond that, what do you think about fighting corruption as a whole in Nigeria? Should it just start from the top, or we should start from the bottom and take it all the way up? Yeah, so we'd also love to hear your thoughts. The phone lines are open. Do well to call in, and then we'd love to hear what it is you have to say. But let me throw this to you, Mr. Michael, before our callers start, Mr. Sunday, before our callers start coming in now. When it comes to corruption, I always say it's something that happens amongst every Nigerian. I spoke to someone and he said the reason why Nigerians are shouting today, oh, the country is hard, is because of those little things that are no longer trickling down like they used to trickle down back then. Those, rub my hand here and then there's money, lose money from somewhere, you took money from this or it's no longer trickling down. That's why people are shouting. What do you have to say about corruption as a whole?
It's not trickling down, but it's also not trickling into the common purse, is it? So it means there are new sets of collectors. But as Lilian has said, corruption permeates just about every facet of our lives. We want you to share your experience with us, and perhaps by doing solution journalism this morning, we also want you to suggest what you think we can do to be better, whether it is in the way the agencies function, or the way they put all kinds of hurdles, to make you pay more for services that you should be paying less. The Nigerian Immigration Service, for instance, would say, but they've increased the cost of passport. They will tell you the official price is now 50,000, but you'll be shocked that you would have to pay way more. When they said the official 10 years passport is now 100,000, I laughed because I paid 105,000 about a year ago.
I mean, it's probably going to be a lot more.
When it was originally 70,000, because you go through the right channels, you just never get attention. You have customer service numbers available to most of these corporate entities. If you call from today to only God knows where, nobody picks, nobody responds. If you leave a complaint, nobody would deal with it. You have to show up there and probably go through some persons who go through some persons who go through some persons. That's the Nigerian story. Once I was at a traffic spot, and this VIO guys caused some kind of obstructions. The light had given us a green. We wanted to move. I stepped into the zebra crossing zone, and they held us there until the right turn led, and I was penalized for being on the zebra crossing. That's the Nigerian story. All right, we'll take our first call this morning. Good morning, your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Adi. I'm calling from London. Good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't get the first name though.
Adi from London. Adi, can you hear me clearly?
Good morning, Mr. Adi from London. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Please go ahead and share your thoughts.
Recently, we were discussing about the provincial plane.
Yeah.
That I think it was alleged that the plane was over 100 billion naira.
That's right.
Which many Nigerians, sorry?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, which many Nigerians are concerned about it.
Yes.
But I don't know why Nigeria forgets so easily. A former accountant general alleged to have stolen over 100 billion.
That's right.
And this same man was given chief counsel title in Kano. All over 100 billion. Why did Nigeria so forgetful about that man, accountant general, that Buhari extended his tenure in the office? So if a president now bought a pay of 150 or 100 billion, people are complaining about that accountant who embezzle money and build the houses, buy houses everywhere. So the problem of Nigeria is corruption. Like the individual who are embezzling our money. Followed by that, they title the 700 million. But the previous lady who was in that position was alleged to have stolen about billions. The case is still there. So Nigeria are forgetting all these things that Yaya Bello is still hiding. So we are the problem. We are put in a position of authority. And if an MP, member of parliament, which we refer to as a senator or whatever, Nigeria, if you take £10 unjustly, he will be sacked. Straight away, he will be sacked. Just £10. If you take that £10, claim £10 on a trip and it's a lie, that is the end.
Yes.
That's how disciplined they are. But in Nigeria, anybody can get away with any money.
True.
And we are causing problems for ourselves. Okay, the man sold over 100 billion allegedly. Which factory did he build for people, for the people to even work at? What transportation did he buy with the money? Then, that is our, if you mention Nigeria, the talk of corruption. In the UK, if they say there's a real, they say no, Nigeria, the police will not even talk about Nigeria. But when you talk of fraud, the first point of contact is Nigeria. So why? So that's what we should be doing and discouraging stealing our future, our children. About this corruption. When you are put in a position of trust, if you are not able to take a bottle of drink before, and you are given a position that you can drink throughout the day, free, don't take it. Because when they sack you, you use to that drink.
That's right.
Drink it. God bless Nigeria.
God bless you. To Mr. Ade. They're a patriotic Nigerian, currently living in London, but very glued, very concerned about the prospects of this country. And you've said it all. Everything revolves, begins and ends with corruption as far as Nigeria is concerned. He reminds us of the case of the former Accountant General. That issue is still pending. We're still going forth and back around the court. He reminds us of the immediate past humanitarian minister, and that she was in charge of the disbursement of several hundreds of billions of naira. Most of them we can't completely account for. Before coming to the new humanitarian minister, the cases are just overwhelming, and sometimes you wonder whether the FCC alone is even able to deal with these myriads of corruption issues across the country. All right, we take another call. I understand we have another caller. Good morning, your name and where are you calling from? Please turn down the volume of your TV set. And hello, good morning, we can hear you. Kindly turn down the volume of your TV set and possibly keep some distance away from the kids so that we can hear your voice and your voice only.
I am far away from it.
Thank you. Go ahead.
My name is Shetima Yakudima, calling from Maiduguri.
All right, Honorable Shetima from Maiduguri. Good morning. How is Maiduguri this morning?
Morning, Mr. John. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You have come with a very tough topic to tackle.
Thank
corruption.
you. Thank you.
Honestly speaking, corruption will be very difficult to tackle in Nigeria. Why did I say so is our leaders have already legalized corruption in this country. Because if you observe very well, the people that have been labeled against corruption, they were part and parcel of every government. AFCC, they will charge somebody for corruption cases, and if government change, you will see him in that government. What are we saying? We are encouraging corruption by our own institution. We have been encouraging corruption in the society. And now I learned that there is one policy in the EFCC, bargain.
Okay.
This bargain, if you have been labeled a case against you for corruption, they will sit down and talk with you how much you will return out of the corrupt money. By the time you return some money, then you go free with the rest of the change. And in our society, even now, Mr. John, if you look at it very well, this palliative is another form of corruption. Why the government, what have done us all these issues of difficulties and high prices of goods is removal of this fuel subsidy. And this fuel subsidy is our property. Nobody consults us, they remove fuel subsidy. What does that mean? It's a corruption. Something belongs to you, somebody come and collect it because you have assumed power. All of a sudden, what was that? It's a corruption. Even in our institutions, all these first class that you are saying, if you test them very well, they are not. They do not deserve it. It's true corruption. They get that that colorful grade. So in short, I think it's our malams and pastors. They wake up and preach very well about this corruption and illnesses, because we see the effect of the corruption, but we are not going against it, because people are desperate to make money. So the only thing that I think our malams and pastors, they should preach very well for people to understand the consequences of corruption, because whatever you gain from corruption, you will account for it in the hereafter.
All right.
And I think the wise man, if whatever delicious that you will eat, for you to eat and vomit, is better for you not to eat it, because whatever any penny that you gain out of corruption, you must have found it in hereafter.
All right, thank you very much, Shatima. And I basically understand your point when you said it does appear that our leaders have legalized corruption. By legalization, what I understand is that the way they have treated corrupt people, the way they've been welcomed, the way they've been embraced in the places of worship, the way they are exalted in our communities, basically is legalization. A child shows up with unexplained wealth, sprinkles some cash around, and they give you all kind of tattoo. If you understand a bit of Igbo, some of them are called Obudo, the man who fixes the town. You are called all kinds of things. You are given the most exalted places in open ceremony.
It's almost like money is being appreciated and worshipped over morals.
Over morals, absolutely.
And it's showing society. Mothers don't ask questions anymore. People they don't even care if this is a corrupt politician and he's told, and so what?
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter anymore.
As long as you can sprinkle the money around, you're good.
And then when the money is not being sprinkled around, it's now called corruption.
No, not just corruption. They just say you're stingy.
You're stingy. Yeah. But it's still
a whole lot need to change, and that clearly is shaping the way the desires of our children. If you ask them today what they want to be,
a politician.
They want to be politicians. They want to be rich.
They want to have enough money to spend around and throughout, because with money comes respect, according to people in society. But the point is, at this point, we blaming the leaders is actually becoming, it's too much, because it's among every Nigerian. Like he said, even in schools, students want to have a certain grade, and I know I wouldn't even want to mention name, but my younger ones are in schools, and my brother will call me, sis, we finished the exam. They just wrote the account number on the board.
All right. I understand we have another caller. Good morning, your name and where are you calling from? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear us?
We seem to have some challenges with that caller. All right, please do well to reach us. The numbers will be displayed, or rather displayed on the screen. If you try one of the numbers and you're having difficulties, please do well to try the second number. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, good morning. I'm Dauda, calling from Kaduna.
Good morning, Mr. Donald from Kaduna. How is Kaduna this morning?
No, Dauda,
please. I seem to have rechristened your name. How is Kaduna this morning? Mr. Dauda. Hello, good morning.
Concerning the case of the issue of corruption in Nigeria, as the previous caller from Maiduguri has said.
Yes.
Government is not fighting corruption, rather it is encouraging corruption. Because even in the previous government, just 8 years back now, we have the cases of Barberchill and this Accountant General.
Yes.
From the masses will have the news of the case, of identifying the case. After that, that's all. The case has been closed. And he also mentioned that plea bargain in EFCC is that so the government is even encouraging the corruption. If I know I am in government maybe to raise $1 billion naira, so I know that the case might rise maybe in a year after or 2 years. So I will end up making 2 billion or 10 billion. Later, I know if they will come to the plea bargain, maybe they will take 30 or 50%. The case has been ironed. So where are we heading to? Look at the situation of the North now. We lost a first-class emir just yesterday, thinking that they are safe. No one is safe anymore, most especially in the North. No one is safe. No one is safe. Thinking that you have money, what you have in your account cannot secure you anymore. Your title cannot secure you. So it is left to us, the masses now, even though we know we have been starved, we don't own our senses anymore, we have to sit down and get back to our senses.
True.
In our next election, we have to know who we are voting. We have to be sure of who you are voting. Look at the track record of that person. How far has he gone? How has he contributed to the society? Not that a person will come and be campaigning or selling the idea of a candidate to you. It won't anymore. The burden is all on the masses. See the cost of commodities now. In less than 6 months that he inaugurated his ministers, how many months did the BETTA Edo State? The case of corruption came.
That's right.
We've not heard about it again. We just consider the case has been closed and she'll be living freely in a national government, or if tinubu, God forbid, came back in the 2027, she might get another appointment again.
True.
So it left to us to declare who will lead us in this country, because we have no hope anymore in our leaders again. We have no hope. Some days ago, Kashim Setima was telling us that or they went to an event, he was making what is he telling us? What is he telling us? So the masses, please should be patient of the little hunger that we have. I know it's painful, but when it comes to election, that little penny that they are giving us, please, we should not consider it. Do what will favor us. Thank you very much. And
thank you very much, Mr. Dauda from Kaduna, and I can agree less with some of the things you have said. I mean, the issues are everywhere. We seem to celebrate when arrests are made, and afterwards they just disappear. And just to provide a bit of context for our conversation, it does also appear that the whole conversation around corruption is centered on the federal government or federal government agencies.
The local government.
50% of whatever this country earns, if not more, actually goes to the state, especially now that we will have powers returning to the local government. I think it's about time that we also call governors, call them out, basically, as far as the issues of corruption are concerned. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from. Good morning. We are struggling to hear you. You would have to move away from your TV set and speak out. Speak a bit more audibly.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, I'm Ali from Okene, Kogi State.
Mr. Ali from Okene. Please go ahead and share your perspective.
Yeah, it is my own understanding that Nigeria is not meant to succeed. With your level of education, the two of you, I only your programs, and I see the way you anchor the whole thing. if you are to put to contest for an election in your local government today, with the current dispensation, you think you can win an election? You can't. The problem we have is that government has institutionalized corruption. Those who know and know that knows. And this is a problem we are going to face in this country. So long as we cannot disabuse the use of money to rise to leadership position, definitely we cannot get it right. Look at the contest for chairmanship, somebody pay about 5 to 10 million. Where will he get it? We are an intelligent person in society. Can he get 10 million to buy his way? A councillor in the ward who is supposed to represent his ward, doing the closest thing to the people at the grassroots, is to pay 5 million. Where will he get the money? Definitely he needs a political godfather for him. And maybe that office is going to satisfy that person first before it goes doing anything for the community. So these are the problems we have. Okay. Government should help us put the right and environment for us to thrive as a nation. This cannot happen in other countries of the world. It's only in Nigeria here. You see, we're unfortunate that those that when Nigeria was good, they used our money to sponsor what they are today, are the ones spoiling society today because they don't want to get it right. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Mr. Lee, for calling there.
Have a great day. I mean, you've said it. It's still around what Shatima said, institutionalizing, formalizing corruptions, where you deliberately put bottlenecks that segregates or rather constrain your best from coming forward. You have already set the template to perpetually remain where you are.
I think another problem we see is lack of transparency and openness and half-truths. Nigerians expect to hear, okay, this is exactly, I think it was a guest yesterday that spoke about a country where almost everybody became an economist because they come out to explain every day, this is what we're doing, but the political office holders are not even honest about how much. Okay, when you say, oh, come and declare your properties, let us know how much you have and then how much you took when you left office. People are being probed as soon as they leave office because you're not sure of how much they stole. Contracts are being shady. You're not sure who jobs are being given to. Let's quickly take this call. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set and talk to us through your phone so we can hear you properly and communicate with you?
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
So tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Osman Abubakar from Lagos State, BETTA.
All right. Good morning, Abubakar from BETTA.
Yes.
I hope the rains are coming down now. I know you did a match, a prayerful match asking for rains. What's the situation in BETTA this morning?
Oh, BETTA is very calm.
Are the rains back?
Our problem in BETTA is the rain is not. We didn't have rain today, but the day before yesterday we were having rain. Very cool.
Okay, that's good. Go ahead, please, and share your perspective.
The problem we are having with this corruption issue is our leaders. Are you hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes. And this administration starts by removing subsidy without even consult anybody, taking away our right from us and didn't even consult us. So that's not corruption. Now, how much did Mr. President buy from for presidential ambition? 100 million or so, governor 50 million. Now, chairman, some 10 million, councillor million. How many councillor that will collect a salary of 400,000 or 200,000 to raise 2 million? Then you ask him, you give him money to go and work. You are expecting him to work. It won't work. They are all going to steal, and that is the plain truth. May Almighty Allah help us, and this administration, please, they should just reverse our first subsidy. So the remaining money, they should know how they will do with it. Many people have stolen our money and nothing has happened.
Thank you very much for that.
We are the one. We are the one. I don't even know how to put it. The Almighty Allah help us.
Thank you very much, and of course, amen to your prayers. We all deserve some kind of mercy. This time around, not from God, from our leaders. The president has said, let the poor breathe. He should mean that in all intent and purpose. You can't block our throats and ask us to breathe with all of these suffocating policies. And that is the summary of what the caller from BETTA is telling us this morning. He doesn't care about what else goes on. Just return our subsidy. Let things go back to the way we used to have them before, and you can continue to do what you do.
Yeah, that's the truth. I think every Nigerian just wants to survive and eat.
Just leave our portion for us
and continue,
and continue with
don't take the small one that you've given us. Don't take it away from us.
We understand that, but again, corruption is not just a leadership thing, and I think that was the point we tried to make. We tried emphasizing at the opening of this segment that we all have a role to play, whether in stopping or in aiding or institutionalizing corruption. Understand what role you have to play and withdraw your part of whatever aids corruption, and little by little perhaps we can begin to get it right as a country and build a country that all of us can be proud of.